There's two different roles of the CFO from a digital enterprise perspective. There's a traditional role, which is one of data governance and security, in making sure that the information that is shared internal and external to the company is accurate, that it's secure. So you don't want to have publicly available information, material, non-public information available to the public, as an example. And so that's a control role of a CFO. And that's what a lot of folks think about. The second role, which is the more exciting one in digital enterprise, is now taking the opposite idea of control, governance, and security, and bringing that information out to the entire organization. And that could mean, obviously, people in finance. It could mean people in corporate roles, executives. It could mean people in sales and marketing analysts. It could mean all of your employees. It could mean all your customers. Finding ways to monetize that information or use it for competitive advantage. And I found that that's a very difficult shift for many folks in finance, including CFOs, to make from the traditional control-oriented, secure-oriented, to one who uses that data to empower the organization and make the right decisions and create competitive advantage. Absolutely, 100%. And not just tech-savvy CFOs, tech-savvy finance organizations. And I found successful people in finance don't necessarily have an IT background, but they have a background in some sort of a technical area, right? So engineering or mathematics, or a PhD in computer science or something like that is very important. Now, that doesn't mean that a CFO isn't qualified if they don't have those capabilities, but they want to have that interest, or find people on their teams who have those areas of interest and capabilities. So the traditional data-driven CFO is someone who's responsible for decision support, right? Is responsible for writing a business case, is responsible for doing a cost-benefit analysis, is responsible for creating a Excel template with which to evaluate projects, right? And so that's step one. That's the baseline. But a truly data-driven CFO takes that work out of the hands of finance, automates it, and makes those decisions occur even faster, right? So traditionally, a project analysis, a business case could take weeks. In some cases, could take months. A data-driven CFO automates those, I'll call more routine analyses, and then embarks the organization on taking those quick analyses done in hours and making business decisions, right? So a data-driven CFO is accelerating the pace of decision-making through the data. A digital CFO, goes back to the conversation we had at the beginning, is someone who has a technology capability and interest, has an interest in agile, right? Sort of waterfall versus agile isn't any longer just a process for software development, but it's a process for decision making, right? Do you want to take 6 months to a year to make a decision and then start spending 2 years to implement something as a CFO? Or do you want to take 2 hours to make a decision, spend 2 weeks to implement it, and decide very quickly afterwards, did that work or not? That, in my mind, is a digital CFO, someone who's adopted Agile, adopted technology. The CFO has to be a change agent, right? It cannot be someone who sits there and blocks progress. And I've seen, we use the term CFO, but this is true with finance folks in general, especially in an FP&A organization. You can very quickly go into the, I haven't seen that information before, I don't want to share this with you because this is confidential information. You have to get past that point and get very comfortable with opening up data and information and then moving things quickly, right? Taking action, right? It's all about action. It's not about staring at 800 numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about what are you going to do with that? And a good CFO can push an entire organization towards that.